TV screen, on your computer screen. We everywhere in social media, on every screen. We talk about life inspirations, Hispanic, Black, and Caucasians. We working hard to make changes.
Ooh, hello out there, and welcome to, or welcome back to the Actors Channel. My name is Nicholas Sarando, and I'm just one of the many actors you have seen in the Dhar Mann studio videos. Now, today we are so excited because we have the original OGs, the bad guy, Pedro Figueroa. But you have not seen in a new video in well over a year and a half. Carl Judie, the original good guy, who's still the good guy through the Christmas episode that just aired. They pick up right where they left off in this interview. They drop gems throughout. Please do not skip ahead. It supports our channel if you watch as much as you can. Also, please interact. Just give a thumbs up, share it on different platforms, and please subscribe if you have not.
Racism. So let me tell you what the plan is. Go touch the souls of every human on this planet.
What's going on, everybody? Thank you so much for supporting the channel. We're so excited that you are interested in seeing this type of content. My name is Pedro Figueroa, and with me here I have
Carl Judie. Pedro, how you doing, man? It's been a long time, man. At least a year.
I know it's been like, yeah, at least a year, like a year and a half, I'd say, at least, since I've seen you or since we've worked together. Man. So much has happened, right?
Oh yeah, a lot of things have happened since then.
Oh yeah, life and the world and just so many things. But I'm so glad we found this time to sort of catch up. We've messaged a little bit. I messaged you the other day.
Yeah.
When I told you that I saw a part you were in. It
was a video that we had shared done together. Yes, I remember that.
And yeah, so it was nice to sort of catch up with you. But it's nice to actually see you.
The same here, buddy. Since it's been a while. Let's do a little catching up, man. We've done quite a few videos together, and I had a lot of fun actually, as we were doing those videos, and I kind of looked at your acting style and I said, man, this guy is good, So you made me step up my game, at least try to step up my game anyway. But
I felt that way about you. I mean, that's how I felt about you.
One of the things I like to ask you though, of all the videos that we did together, what was one of life's lessons that you learned from those videos?
Wow. So many times. I mean, there's just so many instances where I came to you for advice, So I really got to think back. I think there was one where I didn't want to help with, housework. I didn't want to, help my wife. The actress Maggie Avila, who was playing my wife, with like housework and chores, and I kind of stormed out of the house and I came over to your house, and I saw that you were supportive of your wife and kind of like, I'll get that, and you kind of like give me a little, lay it down a little bit, lay down some wisdom for me and kind of tell me it's a partnership, this is 50-50. It's not just one more than the other. And I think just in our daily lives, sometimes I think we get, we feel like, well, this is what I do, and this is what's, this other person does, or even just as chores around the house. So, right. I think that kind of checked me a little bit. In a lot of the videos, so, sometimes, there was always a takeaway that I could get from, my character or another character in a particular video.
She doesn't appreciate all the hard work I do,
Just give us some time.
Hey guys, baby, I am so sorry I'm late. I had to pick Jasmine up from school, but I will get dinner started right away, okay?
Oh no, I got this, babe. Just relax.
Are you sure? You've been at work all day.
Oh yeah, I'm good.
You're so good to me. It was really good seeing you again.
Good night, Mr. Reyes.
Sorry about that. My wife's been working all day. She needs a little break.
A break? See, this is exactly what I was talking to my wife about. It's not like she has a real job.
Let me ask you this. Do you take breaks?
Yeah. It's required by law. Why?
That's absolutely good, because I look at the comments from those videos, And man, so many people, man, they actually, especially women, they actually identified with your wife, so to speak. I guess there's so many guys out there that, you know, that don't participate in
Absolutely.
helping with the wife, but it is a 50-50 partnership. And a lot of responses reflected that. Now, with that being said, I know there's a lot of different types of characters that you play. What may have been one of the best characters that you portrayed?
In general, out of different characters that I've played in general, or just in this particular series, huh?
Yeah, just in general, yeah.
In general, I think one of the funnest characters I've had to play. So I did a pilot for a series called Cocaine Sisters, and I play a drug dealer named Salvador, and you know, he has a really big pivotal part in the pilot, and it kind of like sets the intention and yeah, it sets the intention for the series. And it's a short scene, but I think it was like early on in my career. I mean, I started acting in 2017. I picked it up again in 2017. And I filmed this October of 2018. So I feel like it was so early on into me beginning to act, but the scene was very powerful, and it required a lot of me, and the actress that I was working with, who plays my daughter. So I'm really proud of that. Like, I'm proud of that moment. I'm proud of, like, you know, rising to the occasion. It's still not out yet, but it was like a teaching moment for me in terms of like my craft and just preparing, and even though he is a drug dealer, it's a very like tender, vulnerable moment he has. You know, the first time the audience sees him, it's kind of like a tender, vulnerable moment. So it was a really good experience for me. Yeah. All right, my turn, because you're asking all the questions over here. I'm two for zero right now. So you've also played, I mean, an array of characters, you know, within a particular niche, I would say. You know, what, even for characters, because I know when we first met, I remember you were doing theater. Remember there was
absolutely.
Yeah, I remember you were doing a play, and you were like nervous about it. I think you were kind of nervous about it. So like, I know you've played, you know, there you were playing a very different character than what you've played in the series with Dhar Mann Studios. So like, what's been a very like challenging character for you?
You know, well, actually, all the characters are challenging for me, especially when I have to do the emotional scenes. That's very challenging because, man, I mean, I have to go places that I haven't been in a long time, you know, and I bring the tears, and it's not easy, man. But I accept those challenging roles. I like them. Yes.
And then let's take it back a little more. Like, when did you get into acting? Like, when did that start for you? Like, yeah, let's take it back for people who are watching. Like, yeah, when did you get into acting?
Acting for me started I'm going to say about 8 years ago.
Okay.
My wife is a playwright, and she actually writes stage plays, and she had a play coming up, in about 2.5 weeks before the first show, the main character dropped out, and she didn't know any other male actors who could step in right away. So she asked me if I would play the role. So I went to rehearsal one night, and I played that role, and it was, if I remember correctly, it was a role where the husband was actually stepping out on the wife, wanted a divorce. And that particular night, I went to rehearsal, and I pulled my wedding ring off, and I slammed it on the table and told her I was leaving. And it actually brought tears to her. I mean, my co-actor.
Yeah.
And she actually started crying. So the emotion, you know, well, you know the chemistry between actors, man.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That brought out some emotion in her, and from that point on, you know, all the other actors and actresses that were there was like, we want him. You know? So, that's how it started for me, that the stage and my wife.
Oh, wow. So you worked primarily in theater for quite some time. Like, how much time did you spend just doing theater?
Practically that whole time, from, let's say, 2000 and, I guess about 2012, all the way up until 2018.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, it's for a solid 6 years. Yeah, you were just doing sort of
Solid 6. I think I did my first short was like 2016 or something like that.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Wow. Awesome. Yeah. I mean, theater, I started back, I did a play back, I did 2 plays back in middle school, and I had very small parts, like very, very small parts. And I was like extremely shy, and I had a stutter that was like, I couldn't shake that stutter for nothing.
But
and,
go ahead.
And, huh? What happened?
Go ahead. I don't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
Oh, no. Yeah, I just got completely turned off from acting for a very, very long time. I kind of just like put in the back burner. In college, I took like electives, acting 1, acting 2, and I was always been a fan, like always liked, Broadway plays and just movies and reading scripts. And I was living in Massachusetts at the time, and then I relocated to LA back in 2012. And actually it was my 8-year anniversary yesterday of moving to Los Angeles. And I was working in higher education. I was working in a different field. I wasn't even thinking, like I didn't move to LA to become an actor, but life kind of like brought me full circle and kind of, it kind of like put it on my doorstep one morning when I woke up, and I was like, why am I thinking about this? And, when you love something and you feel it, you got to go after it. So I started to just like, student films and kind of just, work and just learn, we're constantly learning, but I was really, really learning back then. I didn't know what I was doing.
That's cool. But the one thing about theater is that you don't get any do-overs. Once you're on that stage, you're on the stage and you perform. And if you flub your lines, you can't go back and do it over, whereas in film, we do take after take after take, which is good,
I told myself I actually wanted to get into before COVID hit, and then I don't know when, theater productions will be, happening again, and when audiences can come in. But I think you're right. Like I think I want to immerse myself in a play sometime soon, just because, like you said, when we're working on set, it's action and cut, and sometimes it's such small moments, and you're not like, you have to hop in and hop out of your emotion and your scene so often. It almost seems like a treat to be on stage and be in your moment with your character and those other actors for that 2.5 hours. You know what I mean? Where it's like nonstop, and you just have to lean on each other if something kind of, goes wrong, or if you flub a line or something like that. Like no one else knows but you and the other actors, as long as you can just keep it going. So like, it's a treat. Like I want to do a play. Like I really do. So if anybody's watching and you're writing a play, but yeah, I just think it'd be such a treat to be able to do I remember talking to you about, and when we'd be working on set, doing the videos, and you'd be telling me about your rehearsal and your practice, and it just seems like it's such a different experience, and I haven't had it in such a long time.
It is a big difference, and honestly, I didn't know that I could cry on cue until I got into doing the stage plays. There was one particular play that we did where my wife actually passes away. And of course, I bring her out and lay her down on stage, and I'm just bawling. But I didn't know that I could do that. And one day at rehearsal, I had to, we were going through the scenes, and we went through that scene, but my partner wasn't there. So what I did was I picked up a folding chair, and I carried the folding chair out to the middle of the stage and laid the chair down on the stage, and I was bawling. And that's when I found out, oh man, I can do this.
I got it.
I got it. I can do it.
Yeah, those moments are, you gotta, reach inside. You gotta do work, before you get to set. It's definitely tough. But when you've done your work and you've prepped and you're able to like reach those emotions and you're available, that's when it comes out and you're able to give the performance like you gave, when you were crying and sobbing over the chair.
When I think about the work that you and I shared together, one of the videos that we did that stood out to me is where you left your wife and you came to the bar. I was a bartender.
Yes.
And you started showing me pictures of nice looking women. Mm-hmm. And it was like, oh, I wish I had a goddess that looked like this. So again, I had to spit some knowledge on you.
Yes.
I told you to go home, and instead of your wife cooking dinner, take her out to dinner. Buy her a new dress, and you'll find a new goddess.
Do this. Instead of your wife cooking dinner tomorrow, take her out for dinner. Surprise her with a beautiful dress for her to wear. And don't forget the flowers.
Are you serious?
If you do that, a goddess will appear right in front of your eyes.
All right.
Yes.
I can literally envision sitting across from you at the bar, listening to these lines. Yeah. No, that was a really good one. Yeah. That one had a really good message, just appreciating, what you have at home. If you change the way you look at things and you appreciate and you look at it as more of like, well, what I have instead of what I don't have.
Absolutely.
Then it completely can change the way you even like look at situations, which is really good. I mean, even right now in the world that we're in right now, it's just, everybody should take a moment and just, realize and appreciate what they do have instead of thinking about the things that they don't have, especially after, the year that we've had, in 2020, just take a moment, and especially we're in December, we're in the home stretch. So, it's just really thinking about being very intentional, and being thankful.
Absolutely. What else do you have on the horizon?
What do I have on the horizon? There's always something on the horizon. No, I've been doing a lot of writing during, quarantine and sort of just, spending so much time at home. It's been something that I've wanted to do. I've always wanted to write. I enjoy writing. I enjoyed writing in college, but I've never written scripts or stories and things like that. And I kind of just started, I had an idea and I kind of just watched a lot of the shows that I enjoy to watch. And I kind of just thought about like, all right, well, like, how do I just start writing? I just started writing. So I wrote 2 pilots. I have a pilot that's based on actually my life in college back in Massachusetts with my group of friends, and kind of just looking at this really diverse group of students that live in north of Boston, going to a university and kind of, college life, academics, the nightlife, just kind of all the different components that kind of go into college life. So that was a lot of fun to kind of like relive, memories of the past. And then I wrote another one that was, it's a little shorter, and it's mostly in Spanish, and it's based off of my mother, and being a single mother of 3 kids, and sort of working really hard to get us into a good neighborhood where we had like a good opportunity. And kind of just the adversity that we faced, being a Latino family, a Puerto Rican family, living in a primarily wealthy Caucasian town, and sort of just kind of life and kind of sort of what that was. So they've been really fun and personal for me, I think, and I think they kind of came out of spending so much time in my own thoughts and being at home so much, thinking about my life and the moments that kind of like, I think define who I am and why I am who I am. And yeah, so it's been really great. It's been a lot of fun to sort of like write those out. But,
Okay.
and
Well, one last question before we end this. It's good to see that you're writing, first of all. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Now, when you are writing, are there different voices going on in your head? I mean, how's that process?
I think so far, because everybody that I've been writing, I mean, there's a couple characters that I've had to. Oh, there's a. That's Los Angeles, guys. That is LA. Most of the characters that I've been writing, I know personally. They're my close friends. They're my family members. There's a few characters that I've had to make up just for the purpose of moving the story along. But I know those voices. Like, I know them. So that hasn't. My sister actually read them, and she knows all these individuals, and she was like, "Oh my God, how did you do this? Like, I could never write and hear the voice of someone else." She was like, "But I'm reading this, and I can hear, my tia. I can hear your friend, Shay speaking." So I take that as like, all right, I was able to sort of like find their essence and sort of put it on paper. But I think the true test is sort of writing something where you're maybe creating characters and just being consistent with how they are and their intention as it moves along in the story. But I mean, I'm still learning. I mean, I by no means am someone who's mastered script writing at all. I mean, at all. But it's just it feels great to write a story, and it's so powerful to put words on paper. And even if nothing happens with it, it still does something for the person who's written it. So I'm still appreciative for it. And what's going on with you? Are you writing anything? Are you working on something?
Well, no, I definitely don't write. But here recently, I guess within the last week or so, my wife and I, we were actually teaching we had a class of 16 students where we were actually teaching them, a little bit about the camera, a little bit about the stage, a little bit about filming, so it was just a little bit of everything, and the main idea behind that was to take kids that were underprivileged or low income type, families, or kids that had low self-esteem. And through theater, our goal was to actually boost their confidence.
Wow.
By having them, stand in front of the classroom and do a monologue, or things of that nature. So it was a 6-week course, and from beginning to end, we saw a tremendous difference in the kids. By the time we got to the 4th week, we saw a tremendous difference in the kids, and that was something that I had never envisioned myself doing, but I was asked to do it, and of course I accepted the challenge. It was a challenge for me, and yeah, man,
that's beautiful. You know what? Maybe I would have done more plays in middle school if I had a program like that who gave me a little more, just a little boost.
Oh yeah.
It's all we need sometimes, just a little boost. Someone who says you can do it. And
the other thing is, none of the kids were really interested in acting, but by them attending this course, and of course, building the self-confidence and leadership skills, and those kind of things, man, I mean, it turned out great.
I bet. No, I saw this meme on Instagram the other day that this other actor that I've worked with, Juan, posted, and it said something about like theater isn't just theater. Theater shows it's athleticism, it's mathematics, it's emotions, it's history, it's language arts, it's so many different things that if people actually thought about what you could gain from it, like it should be more required in schools, because like truly students do learn so much about themselves and other people while they're doing theater. So I think that's amazing.
That is a true statement.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. That's amazing. So are you still doing those classes virtually right now because we're in sort of, living with COVID, or you guys kind of just postpone them for now?
Well, right now, because of where we are with the COVID, we actually had to shut it down, like a week and a half before we could actually end the class. But hopefully, when COVID is over and things get better, or they drop some of the restrictions that they have on us right now, we'll go ahead and get started again.
That's wonderful.
I'm looking forward to that. And of course, we talk with all the kids, and all the kids, they definitely want to come back. Their parents want them to come back.
I bet, yeah. I bet the parents definitely want them to go back.
Oh, yeah.
I have one last question for you, or maybe not one last question, but I have another question for you. So if, for another maybe actor, or, I don't want to just single out the actors, even though, you love the actors. If there's another creative individual who's watching, what's one piece of advice that you would give them?
The advice that I would give anyone that's into acting is to never give up on your craft. If this is something that you want to do or you're interested in, take every opportunity to take advantage of every opportunity that you get. Don't quit. Just keep going.
Absolutely.
Like that ever ready battery, just keeps on ticking and ticking and going and going and going, however that is. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. Let me see. I would probably give, I'd probably say the same thing, but I'd also probably say, and I hear so many other people, so many other actors say this as well, but I think like continuing to live a very rich life. Like I credit a lot of my life experience. I didn't start, and you may feel the same way. Some people, for the older individuals who maybe want to get into acting older, you started later on in life as well. I started at, 30, 31. All that life experience that you have is so valuable to you as an actor, because you get to pull from all those different experiences that you've had into your characters. So anybody who's watching, I would say look at that wisdom that you have as it's skills in your tool bucket that you get to call upon when you're building something, when you're working on set. And so just keep acting is yes, you love it, but you got to do other things as well. And not just focus on that, because it's not healthy either to be super, super hyper focused on it. You got to work on it and give it its time and attention, but then live life and still do things that still I don't know, make you happy and make you a better person, and that'll make you a better actor.
I agree with that. Well, Pedro, it's really been nice, man. Like I said, it's been, oh wow, man, year and a half since
oh, so long.
Come on, man. What's up?
I know. We'll have to get together once it's safe. Once it's safe for everybody to get together.
Definitely gonna have to, man.
We'll be able to get together. But it was nice seeing you. Always nice to talk to you. I mean, even right now, we're not even on set filming, and I still learn from you.
Thank you. That's a compliment. I appreciate it, bro.
And if you guys want to keep seeing content like this, thank you so much for watching. Hit subscribe if you want to see more interviews like this with other actors. If you want to see other skits and stuff, please let us know in the comments ideas you might have on different videos or scenarios that you might want to see, and we'll do our best to be able to give you guys what you want.
I just want to say, Pedro, thank you for saying that to our audience. If they have certain things that they want to see.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Let us know.
Give us a shout out. Yeah.
I mean, you guys are opinionated. You guys have thoughts. You guys have ideas. Your lives are very different than ours. So, let us know what you guys might want to see that, we could, put together. And, maybe you guys will give us an idea for a skit or a video.
And it's
all right. Next time.
Nick Sarando.
Until next time.
We have plenty of other interviews to bring you. And if this goes well, we can start shooting our own material, and we have so much in store for you. Some comedy, some suspense, some drama. You are going to see these actors in a way you've never seen them before. and you will see the old actors come back, and you'll see them interacting with the new actors, and it's so exciting. And you get to see what we want to come up with and what we do, and us in different lights. Me as a good guy, Carl as a bad guy. It's going to be fantastic. So please support, and we will see you in the next video. Thank you so much.
Every spring, we talk about life inspirations, Hispanic, Black, and Caucasians. We working hard to make changes. Ain't nobody got time for racism. So let me tell you what the plan is. Go touch the souls of every human on this planet. Go coast to coast and show our faces what the fans is.